Let's go. Let's go. Only a few minutes late. That's like respectfully late when you're less than 5 minutes. Hello. Welcome. How are you? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in early. I see people in the chat already. Good to see you guys. Be More Busker is here. Life Matrix is here. Thanks, Life Matrix. I have an opportunity to create some merch for someone who's wondering if my possible work. Yes, you can email me, Life Matrix. Lifttheveil411 at gmail.com. I used to put that in my description, but you can also message me on Twitter or text me at the show phone number. If you know what that is, 650-GAY-TAXI. You can do any of those things to get in touch with me. Messaging me on Twitter, email is okay, but I don't always open or reply to emails. Thanks, though. Yeah, okay. We can talk about it. If you'll be selling merchandise. We got a whole storeroom. I'm sitting in the storeroom, but it's much emptier now. We have been selling out of our products. All right, so I got news today, guys. Big show. Very big show. Lots to say, lots to talk about in the news today. The big news, and it's huge, it's blowing up everything, is that Joe Biden said Trump supporters are garbage. And just recently we have Trump in a garbage truck. So he decided to answer that way. He also said we should forgive Joe Biden for saying that he does not knoweth what he say. What's up, Stephanie, Christina, Nuckfugget, Little Round Box. I even know your Japanese characters. Welcome. It's Wednesday. 6 days. We do a countdown, right? 6 days until the election. I think Trump's going to win. I'm thinking about wagering on it. What do you guys think? It seems like easy money if you're correct. If you're correct, of course. It always seems that way. But it seems much safer than betting on sports. I mean, if you just go and look and you say, okay, Trump is doing this much better in the polls and otherwise in early voting than he was in 2020 or 2016. And basically, those were pretty much a tie, let's call it, where Trump won by a little bit in 16 and Biden won by a little bit in 2020, supposedly. And he's way ahead at all those things. I think he's going to win. I mean, seems like easy money. It's like I don't know how they say it. It's like minus 150. Bet 100 to win $50 right now. Those are the odds. It's like 2-1, but I think 2-1 means you win. I don't know which one it is. Yeah, 2-1 odds. I think that means you win double. That's what Kamala is. She's 2-1 odds. Bet 100 to win 200. What do you guys think? I was thinking I have some money saved up from when I was working, but I need to live off of it kind of. So it's not money I can afford to lose exactly. And I do think betting on Bitcoin is similar to betting on Trump because Trump is going to be good for Bitcoin, I think. I think he might have even talked about getting rid of tax on cryptocurrency, but I'm not sure about that. Mr. Cranky says, don't underestimate the cheating ability. Yeah, that's the only way I could see Kamala winning is if they were to somehow cheat. There are different videos. I mean, people are setting up the stolen election theme. There's a Dominion thing where somebody posted the passwords of, let me just show you a funny video. Somebody posted the passwords of Dominion voting machines or something on a public website, where the spreadsheet was uploaded. Apparently it had plain text passwords for how to get into voting machines or something. So I'll show you that news. There's a guy that caught some people are a little overzealous. There's a guy that caught a post office employee carrying a bunch of ballots and said it was super suspicious. But it turns out the guy did work for the post office. Street Ghost says, let it ride. Yeah, and the Department of Government Efficiency might cut the IRS. And speaking of Doge, I'm thinking we could be on the precipice of a huge crypto run too. So I'm trying to position myself for it. I of course have cryptocurrency, but I was thinking of different ones that are going to do well. But Bitcoin is pretty good. Bitcoin is pretty good, but there might be other ones that come up now too. There's something called SUI, SUI, which is sort of like Solana, which is up and coming. So I was looking at that. Looking at ways to survive in the new world. Government data came out today about growth, money growth, or GDP growth. We're still growing. We're growing at almost 3% still. There's people talking about tariffs. Let me show you this video. Street Ghost, you're having a Torpedo IPA. IPAs are good beers. Torpedo must be something local to you. And then I'll play my intro.
Joe Biden is asleep. Kamala is at a dance party with Beyonce. 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 Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. 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 Party with Beyonce. 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 Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. 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 Party with Beyonce. Beyonce.
Just giving you all the
dance party with Beyonce. Beyonce. 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 Dance.
Hold up.
Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. 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 Party with Beyonce. 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 Beyonce.
I voted on all the things. Oh, yeah. Then we run the intro. We go like this. We go straight from the dance part with Beyonce. Okay. Cue musical intro. Boy, that's brilliant. I do think some things in the world are real. Like you guys. You guys are real. Most of you. Most of my listeners, I think, are not just in my head. I think I have the metrics to prove it. You've taken a leap of faith today. What is that sound? And I apologize if you take offense. I'm a little offended myself. Welcome to our show. Welcome to the future. What it is. Joining you live from sunny California. It's a beautiful day today. I'm your host, Nathan Stoltman. And I bring you the news, the real news. Yeah, that's right. No, seriously. That's exactly right. Garbage truck is trending. Tulsi Gabbard is doing something with JD Vance right now. JD Vance, the episode on Joe Rogan, is supposed to drop soon. I heard that it might be later today. It might be tomorrow morning for the JD Vance episode on Joe Rogan, which we all have to listen to, of course. What are we going to do after the election's over? I feel like I've been very focused on the election. I watched that guy, Mark Halperin, who used to be on Morning Joe, and he has a show where he has on audience participants talk about what's going on. They're talking about the election. People are saying this Joe Biden calling Trump supporters garbage is kind of a big deal. So, yeah, that's what I'm thinking about wagering on it. I have to see how it works. I found a website, or I saw them advertising on Twitter that Kalshi, I think it's called, Kalshi, Kalshi.com is for U.S. bettors. So I don't know how they take the bets. I wonder if I have a continue with Google. Let's see. Nathan S. Continue. I'm going to see if I can create an account, what you have to do to bet there. I wonder if it's cryptocurrency too, like Polymarket. Polymarket odds are similar to where they were yesterday. Okay, I'm logged in. Donald Trump at 61%. So actually it's a little better than 1 to 2 odds. A little better than that. More like 2 to 3. 2 to 3. Yes. You guys know how the odds work, right? So Trump is definitely favored to win. Nothing that what's her name did yesterday helped. Kamala Harris. I have some of her media performances. They're pretty embarrassing. I have Tim Walz. So we're running into the last stretch. I filled out my ballot. I told you guys that. Yeah, voted for Republicans this time around for sure. Because you got to do that in California. We're not, the California isn't represented according to the population very well. We're run by Democrats, even though I heard it's like 60-40 here, Democrat to Republican. But our state Senate is like 80% Democrat. All right, let me play you Tulsi Gabbard's little promotion on Trump. And then I'll show you what Joe Biden said. And then I'll show you the reaction. Like everybody's reacting to it. I tuned into Karine Jean-Pierre doing her press conference, and like every single question was about what Joe Biden said. I'll play it now. I'll play it now. That's cool. And then I'll go to this other stuff. Play it now and I'll play it again.
Donald Trump has no character. He doesn't give a damn about the Latino community. He's failed businessman. He only cares about the billionaire friends he has and accumulating wealth for those at the top. He says immigrants are poisoning the blood of our country. Give me a break. He wants to do away with the birthright citizenship. Who the hell has said that in the last 100 years? And just the other day, a speaker at his rally called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. Well, let me tell you something. I don't know the Puerto Rican that I know, or Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware. They're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization of seen as unconscionable, and it's un-American. It's totally contrary to everything we've done, everything we've been.
There you go. That's the quote. That's the long version of the quote. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. So very similar to the basket of deplorables comment. The other comments that came from Hillary Clinton, of course. Similar to Barack Obama saying people cling to their guns and their Bibles. At least one person thinks it's going to make a big difference. That it could push people over the line. That people who are reluctant to pull the trigger for Trump might be ready now. So I'll play you some of this and I'll show you the reaction to that. Let me play you this.
Tulsi Gabbard.
Aloha. I joined the Democratic Party over 20 years ago. I was 21 years old in Hawaii, and at that time, it welcomed people from all different backgrounds, different views, celebrated free speech, and actually defended those whose speech was being attacked, even if they disagreed with their views. It was a party that stood up for the little guy and represented our values of freedom and liberty in America. I left the Democrat Party because now it stands for the exact opposite of all of those things.
Free speech is not an absolute. social media sites. They are speaking to millions of people without oversight or regulation, and that has to stop.
I never would have imagined as an American and as a soldier that we would live in a country in my lifetime where we would feel like we have to self-censor what we say, that we couldn't criticize our own government for fear of them labeling us as a domestic terrorist. We are closer to the brink of World War III and nuclear war today than we ever have been before, directly because of the Harris-Biden administration's foreign policy. Too many Americans are struggling just to afford the basic necessities of life. No matter how many times we've heard Kamala Harris and Joe Biden over these last 4 years tout and celebrate how Bidenomics has been great for America.
You guys remember when Trump won?
America's economy is strong.
Polls consistently show that a majority of the American people disapprove of the president's handling of the economy.
Guess what? It's working.
Over half of Americans earning a six-figure salary report that they're actually living paycheck to paycheck. Bidenomics is working. It is actually working.
The number of homeless people on the streets and in shelters across the U.S. increased significantly this year.
Oops. I overloaded my computer loading up another page. Just trying to get you guys all the election forecasts and stuff. Come on, computer. Be nice. Play Tulsi. We like Tulsi. We're hoping Tulsi's the next president. We're playing the long game. I registered Democrat because of Tulsi in California, because I was going to vote for her in the primary against Hillary Clinton, I think. Did she run against Hillary too? I think she did.
Bidenomics is working.
There we go.
It's almost as though they're speaking from an ivory tower, saying how great they are and patting themselves on the back, while people are struggling for crumbs on the streets. This election really isn't about the left versus the right. It's about choosing, we the people choosing our government, and the choice between freedom versus tyranny.
The Department of Defense, under Biden's authority, quietly codified its right to deploy lethal force against its own citizens on American soil.
I'm proud to endorse Donald Trump in this election because he is our best hope. Specifically because of the leadership that President Trump has brought to transform the Republican Party and bring it back to the party of the people, the party of equality, the party that was founded to fight against and end slavery in this country. It is the party of common sense and the party that is led by a president who has the courage and strength to fight for peace.
Mr. Trump became the first sitting U.S. president to ever set foot inside North Korea yesterday.
And this is why they will do everything possible to try to destroy him. Because this man has the courage to take them on and root out the deep rot of corruption in Washington. My message to my fellow Americans, regardless of your political affiliation, now is the time for us to stand together to save our country. A vote for President Trump is a vote for a big open tent party that welcomes people from all backgrounds and all walks of life. A vote for President Trump is a vote to express our deep love for our country and our appreciation for our God-given rights and freedoms enshrined in the Constitution. A vote for President Trump is a vote for secure borders and safe communities, and a vote for President Trump is a vote for peace here in America and around the world. Thank you so much.
There we go. Tulsi. So the next election will be pretty exciting.
Paid for by Maha Alliance.
I wonder if she could run for senator anywhere. I was talking about it last time. That's paid for by the Maha Alliance. It's this crazy thing with campaign finance right now. I guess the super PACs are allowed to run everything now. They can run your ground game. And so I think TPUSA is doing all the ground game for Donald Trump. It's like farmed out to them. That's what I heard, at least. And then you can have super PACs do everything for you because they can get all the money. And then they can get it from foreign countries, I think. So anyway, that's Make America Healthy Again Super PAC, the Maha Alliance with Tulsi Gabbard. I'll run my ad down the bottom of the screen. Thanks for tuning in. All right, so I'll show you the response to Joe Biden saying that people are garbage, which I played for you. Is it a big deal? Well, let's see what Trump said about it. Trump is very forgiving. Let's see if my sound transfers this time. Oh, I think it's working this time. How unusual. This is what Trump said about it.
So remember Hillary, she said deplorable, and then she said irredeemable, right? But she said deplorable, that didn't work out. Garbage, I think, is worse, right? But he doesn't know. You have to please forgive him. Please forgive him, for he not knoweth what he said.
I think it's true.
So
in a sense, like he didn't even know what he was saying. So is it going to be a big deal? Here's Trump showing up in a garbage truck. I have a longer clip of that. Where did I saw a long clip of did I send it to myself? I didn't send it to myself. Well, he showed up in a garbage truck. I'll show you that right here. Oops. I'll play it. Sorry, the sound's cut out. The only garbage I see is Trump supporters. That's what he said.
how do you like my garbage truck? This truck is in honor of Kamala and Joe Biden. How do you like my garbage truck? This truck is in honor of Kamala and Joe Biden.
There you go. That's what he ended up doing. The press had to cover it. So that's him with his garbage truck, and then various reactions to it. Let's see if this will transfer the sound. This is what Tim Walz said about it. He was questioned about it. It's pretty bad. A few days before the election, a lot of people have already voted, it seems like. But there still is some voting to go on. And Joe Biden calling people garbage could be what people need to just kind of give them the extra push over the edge.
I want to put it into a larger context of your recent comment comparing the Sunday Trump rally to a Nazi rally. And I would also throw in there Obama's bitter clingers, guns and religion comment from a while back, the deplorable line from Hillary Clinton's campaign, and the way that Democrats are seen by some voters as disrespecting them. And I have to ask, does that undercut this closing message of unity from your campaign?
No, certainly not.
I want to put it into a larger context of your...
I could have had a longer clip of him answering that, but he says, no, it's not going to change. It doesn't change the unity message. You guys saw her speech last night. She's preaching unity, and we got to tone down the rhetoric. But Donald Trump is fundamentally going to change America forever. He's going to be a fascist dictator. So that was Tim Walz. Tim Walz did call, let me see. Tim Walz did say that people were Nazis at the Trump rally in Madison Square Garden. Oops. Let me fix that. So I have a clip of that. Here he is.
You said over the weekend, referring to it, there's a direct parallel to a big rally that happened in the mid-1930s at Madison Square Garden.
Well,
you were comparing that rally to a Nazi rally?
Look, I'm comparing it to the hate that came out of this, and I think they confirmed that.
You stand by that comparison, though, to a Nazi rally?
Look, the rally, you saw it for yourself. I'll let the American public make the decision of what they saw.
What about you, though?
So I know what I saw, and I'll just leave it at that.
You said over the weekend,
he pretty much called them all Nazis there, and then Hillary Clinton was saying it was a Nazi rally. MSNBC was saying it's like a Nazi rally. And then Biden comes out. He apologized for it. He apologized for it and wrote something on X saying he was referring to the stand-up comic, but didn't sound exactly that way, the way it came out. So I'll play you one response from a pollster who says it is going to make a difference in the election. Frank Luntz. Here, I'll give you this.
His comments, seemingly describing Trump supporters as, quote, garbage. The Harris campaign is trying to downplay the effect of those comments. Of course they are. But I wonder if you think that those comments are going to move voters.
It's going to be huge because this is not some comedian saying something stupid and offensive at a rally where he should have been just basically disinvited. This is the president of the United States endorsing his vice president saying something. And I know that there's different interpretations about what he said. It's still inappropriate. He still shouldn't be doing it. And I've watched Trump already seize this. The basket of deplorables was significant, was meaningful in 2016. In 2024, I can promise you that this is going to drive Trump turnout. He's doing it already. I can see, I'm sure there's going to be ads on as soon as tonight about this. This may be a turning point for those final 3%, and that's all it is, who still need to be persuaded.
There you go. So Frank Luntz, pollster, saying, speaking of polls, I told you guys about the betting odds. I always show you those. Let's see. Predict It's got it at, but that's not the polls. 58 cents. Trump is actually down the odds. If that's where you were, if that's a way. The Trump presidential winner contract is at or near the trader limit. You may not be able to trade in it at this time. Oh, that's interesting. They have a limit on how many people. Maybe that's why the odds aren't as good, because people just can't bet on it. That's fascinating. Take a look at this. This is the disclaimer here on predictit.org, which is a U.S. betting market for politics. He's at 58 cents, but it says the Trump presidential winner contract is at or near the trader limit. You may not be able to trade in it at this time. So don't know what that's about. Who will win Wisconsin? Look at this. This is crazy. The odds on Wisconsin are suddenly changing very rapidly. Who will win Pennsylvania? Donald Trump is favored, but look at these. Look at this in Wisconsin. He was way ahead. I'll show you. Look at this. Suddenly his odds are collapsing in Wisconsin when he was way ahead, apparently. Oh, there's news. Donald Trump leads Kamala Harris in Wisconsin, according to a new Suffolk poll. Interesting. Well, for some reason, those odds are crashing in Wisconsin. But here he is. This is on Kalshi, where apparently you're allowed to bet. So we're thinking about it. The polls, though, and actually based on the polls, 538 has Trump winning 51 times out of 100. So it's super close. So actually, it's a bad bet compared to what these simulations show on 538. 538 has it only 51 to 49 odds, 51 times out of 100. Trump wins 49 times out of 100. Kamala Harris wins. So it's practically even odds. But the polls keep shifting in Trump's favor. And compared to this day in history, Trump is doing extremely well. I'll share RCP average of the national poll. He's ahead nationally. So, and he's ahead in every state. Well, he's ahead in every state but Wisconsin, where Harris is ahead by 0.2 points. But last time, Wisconsin, Biden was ahead 6.4 points. Clinton was ahead 5.4 points this day in history, 2020, 2016. Trump is doing so much better this time around. Well, here we are. We're in the final stretch. I'll show you guys some more stuff. I showed you the garbage thing. Here's some more responses to it. Spaldo says Trump has the best team at this point. Yeah, I think that's a good way of looking at it. Is he's got the best team. He's got JD Vance seems solid. Tulsi, JFK, or RFK Jr. Here's some Morning Joe response to Joe Biden calling people garbage.
They're trying to make a firestorm out of something that, again, if you look at it, you look at what he said immediately afterward, which Donald Trump didn't say. He immediately afterward said, no, that's not what I was talking about, the comedian and people, that kind of talk. But, you know, Joe Biden obviously doesn't believe that.
You know, I'm of the mindset that if you say it, you might as well just embrace it. And I do think that that's a problem for realistically. Like, I do think if he said, listen, yeah, I do mean all those racist supporters of Donald Trump. Yeah, I do think that they're terrible.
By the way, as someone who had a stutter growing up, it's very obvious to me that there's an apostrophe at the end of supporters there. He was referring to the garbage spewed by supporters, not simply the supporters themselves.
Basically calling Puerto Ricans trash.
The most repulsive racial jokes about Latinos.
Disgusting and hateful.
So incredibly crude. Frankly, just too X-rated to play here. Extremely vile so-called jokes.
Difference between Biden calling people garbage and the stand-up comedian, the stand-up roast comedian calling people, saying that Puerto Rico is a garbage dump. Apparently it is. I heard Puerto Rico really has a trash problem. You guys want to buy some shirts? Check out Truth Revolution Clothing at truthclothing.io. We're having a clearance sale on screen printed shirts, which are actually in stock now and which actually ship out. I just took out a big order, 7 shirts somebody got. Took that to UPS today. So, but use USPS, it's easier. Go to truthclothing.io, check out our stuff. I'll show you. I can show you that tab instead. Oops, share this tab instead. There's our shirts. You can buy these. I'm wearing the Lift the Veil baseball shirt today. It's really nice. You can get the propaganda baseball jersey in black. We still have those in stock in different sizes. Check out the sales though. Look, some of the stuff's like $5. And then you can see some stuff sold out. Many things are going to be sold out in your size. But that's how good the deals are. There's $5 t-shirts, $5. Just get one of each of the $5 shirts. You'll have one for every day of the week. And then you can be like me and wear your Truth Revolution clothing shirt all the time. All right, so check that out. Check out our sale, truthclothing.io. Buy some cryptocurrency shirts. Crypto's doing all right. Gold is doing really well. Silver, still doing pretty well. But yeah, buy shirts, buy Bitcoin, etc. All right, so I played you a bunch of things. Let's go ahead and delete those tabs, see where we stand here. I have Vivek talking about how it was basically this is the October surprise, but Biden delivered the October surprise for us this time. First time they said Hillary lost because the FBI, James Comey, right? This time it could be because of Biden. Some people are saying Biden did it on purpose because he hates Kamala Harris.
Look, here's the October surprise. It just arrived. This is the basket of deplorables moment. That's what Hillary Clinton said in 2016 that tanked her campaign. Well, that's the Joe Biden, Kamala Harris moment right now. I am a little bit more cynical about this one, Sean, in the following way. It might look like Joe Biden's usual cognitive deficits kicked in. But the reality is we know his family is secretly probably rooting for Donald Trump, not Kamala Harris, to win because they feel really vengeful about how they were treated. So if you're in their shoes, you know that kind of comment is actually going to tank Kamala Harris. So we're going to put those kinds of motivations to one side. But regardless, it is a welcome October surprise because let's take a big step back. What's going on here? The wheels are coming off the car. They're spiraling. And now you see the accusations of the other side being Hitler or piles of garbage. You're going to hear a lot about threats to democracy in the next week. They are flailing, Sean. They understand Americans are not falling for their trick anymore. Donald Trump has a record that he's running on. They're frustrated by it. And I think it's, in some ways, a beautiful thing for our side to watch this completely come undone and turn the page on this ugly chapter of our history.
To watch Kamala tonight just...
There you go. So they're saying it's October surprise. Joe Biden, Trump supporters are garbage. I swear it was every question during the White House press briefing today. Every question she got asked, she said, "Oh, he put out a statement. That's not what he meant." But it's not playing well with the common people. I can show you guys some election. Kamala Harris might end up being on Joe Rogan. He's talking about it. I'll give you some more. They released a clip about what he was talking about with getting her on the show. He might get her on the show, but I don't know if it matters. We're too close to the election now. So now it's just the final stretch, getting a few people out to vote who wouldn't have voted otherwise. Joe Biden's helping out a lot.
You could look at this and you say, "Oh, you're being a diva." But she had an opportunity to come here when she was in Texas. And I literally gave them an open invitation. I said, anytime. I said, if she's done at 10 o'clock, we'll come back here at 10 o'clock. I go, I'll do it at 9 in the morning. I'll do it at 10 p.m. I'll do it at midnight. She's up. She wants to, drink a Red Bull, fucking party on.
Yeah, but I think this idea that you're being a diva is silly because you're offering her the opportunity to do exactly what the other candidate did, right?
Well, she actually reached out when she found out that he was coming on. So their camp reached out to me. So I said, great, I would love to talk to her. But it was very difficult to tie it down. And they wanted to travel. And see, the thing is, like, you can't, if I go somewhere, then there's going to be other people in the room. And they want to control a lot of things, I'm sure, according to the Brett Breyer interview on Fox. Like, people were waving them off. That's a distraction. People in the room, like, my whole goal with her and with him is just talk. Just have a conversation like a human being. You find out things about people. You get a sense of them, at least, a real sense. That was it. I don't give a fuck what we talk about. I really don't. I just want to talk to you. Who the fuck are you?
There you go. That's Joe Rogan talking about doing the Kamala Harris interview, what he offered, what she offered, etc. JD Vance, like I said, is going to be on there. You guys think Kamala is going to do it? I have Kamala stumbling on a few things today. I have more reaction. I have reaction from The View about calling people about the garbage comment. And Whoopi Goldberg is wondering why people are freaking out. Let's see if I show you that. It's going to cut out the sound, isn't it? Yeah. I have Whoopi. Saying he didn't really mean it, but also that Hillary was right to say about it.
There is a completely unfair standard with Donald Trump. No, I'm saying there's an unfair standard where his supporters have just decided it's baked in when he insults people, but they do take offense. Deplorables did matter. That comment from Hillary Clinton did matter. But I would say that Joe Biden is still the president. I'd like him to be working on getting the hostages back. He does not trust me. There is a completely unfair standard with
deplorables. So she was saying, they're saying it's a double standard that everybody's criticizes. Everybody criticizes Biden when if Trump did the same thing, nobody would care. Trump says something crazy every day. Nobody does anything about it. I have Kamala. It's just screwing up a few things. Let me see. The middle class thing. I'll play you that. Thanks for tuning into the show. If you want to support the show financially, you're welcome to. You can go to our Cash App, $LTV411, or you can go to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. I think I actually got a coffee yesterday. Those are posted publicly. Someone bought a coffee. That's what it says. Someone bought a coffee yesterday. Thank you, someone. Didn't leave a note, didn't leave a name. Very cool. This is Kamala answering a question. The way she answers questions. Here it is. With local.
What's your message to Michigan voters in terms of the economy? We have auto workers who are being laid off and those who fear that they might be laid off. The average person can't afford groceries or their rent. And recent polls in Michigan show that Michigan voters believe that Donald Trump would do a better job with handling the economy and bringing jobs back. What do you say to that?
Well, let's start with this. I come from the middle class, and I'll never forget where I come from. My mother worked very hard. She, by the time I was a teenager, was able to save up for our first home. And I understand.
What's your message to Michigan voters and
who are like, oh, Trump is better on the economy than you. Well, let me tell you something. I came from the middle class. Here's her answering another question, just in a dumb way. Okay, let's go stop sharing. Share.
I think what some voters are struggling with, and we've heard this across the state,
Listen to this.
is when you discuss your plans, they come back and ask, well, why haven't you done it already?
Well, I'm not president.
You're vice president.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm going to tell you what I'm doing as president when I have the ability then to do what I know based on my experience is a new approach. It is about building on the good work that has happened, but there's more to do. There's more to do.
I think what some voters are
There you
struggling
go.
with, and we've heard this across.
She just doesn't say anything. She's an unbelievably bad candidate. All right, I'll give you guys the voter fraud news. And the way it was reported in Politico, they reported it totally fictitiously. He said the only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. And then Politico said Biden in a Zoom call with the organization Voto Latino said the only garbage was the hatred of Trump supporters who said such things about American citizens. I mean, it's just false. That Politico story. I wonder if they edited that yet. Let's see. Republicans, floating pile of garbage comments. See if they updated it. But yeah, that's the way they reported it. That the only garbage was the hatred of Trump supporters who said such things. No, he said literally, the only garbage I see floating out there is Trump supporters. That's what he said. Okay, so I got that. RFK Jr. says he's going to have control of the public health agencies. Just show you that. That would be unbelievable. I would worry for RFK Jr.'s safety.
The key that I think that President Trump has promised me is control of the public health agencies, which are HHS and its sub-agencies, CDC, FDA, NIH, and a few others, and then also the USDA, which is key to making America healthy, because we've got to get off of seed oils and we've got to get off of pesticide-intensive agriculture. The key that
There you go. So anyway, yeah, he says he's going to have control over all those agencies. That's insane. That's insane. Another reason to vote for Trump. RFK is on the ballot here in California. I could have still voted for RFK. I could have filled out a bubble for him. Let's see. I have another clip of CNN reacting to the garbage comment, in case we haven't seen enough about that. Let's see. Here's more reaction to the garbage. Let me see.
Say though, Bakari,
certain demographics.
he was in his house, the White House. He was in his house doing this, and the reporting is that there are places that he can be useful, but he's not everywhere like you might expect a sitting president to be for his vice president.
I don't know that I would expect this president to be everywhere in this moment. I mean, look, a critical element, any coach will tell you, any CEO will tell you, a critical element of running a team and winning is assessing the strengths and weaknesses of your team.
Boring. Okay, I got Trump. Oh, yeah, I have a minute of Trump holding the press conference. I have a minute of him in his garbage truck. Let's see if that's good.
Is answering some questions from reporters.
Joe Biden to make that statement, it's really a disgrace.
You said the other day that the military could be used, that the military or the National Guard could be used on election day if necessary. Can you explain what you meant by that in detail?
I don't think they'll have to be used. I think we're going to have a big victory. And I think 250 million people in this country are going to be very happy because we're going to bring the country back. We're a nation in decline, very, very serious decline. And we're going to bring our country back.
Did you know that Elon Musk was in close contact with Western Bush? Did you know about this? Did you know about Elon Musk at home and close communication?
No, I don't know. Elon is a great guy. He's one of our geniuses, and we have to protect our geniuses. We have to take care of our geniuses. There aren't too many of them. Yes, please.
Puerto Rico an apology for what the comedian said?
No, I love Puerto Rico, and Puerto Rico loves me. I don't know anything about a comedian. I love Puerto Rico. Nobody's done more for Puerto Rico than me. I took care of them when they had the big hurricanes, and nobody gets along better with Puerto Rico and the Puerto Rican people than me. They love me and I love them.
There you go. There's Trump in Green Bay, Wisconsin. I think I showed you some odds that said the Wisconsin race is getting close. Don't know. But here we are. We're in the home stretch. All right, guys, if you have any questions, pop them in the chat real quick. I think I showed you everything. I think I showed you everything I had today. I blew my wad. Which is a military term, by the way, for blowing your wad of C4 or what have you. Oh, I was going to show you about election fraud. I show you there's this password thing. They actually posted passwords online for everybody to see. I don't think the election's going to get stolen this time. And here's something that happened with the elections.
Passwords for Colorado's voting systems were posted online for anyone to see for months, if you knew where to look. Democratic Secretary of State Jenna Griswold's office apparently posted them online by accident. Griswold's office found out last Thursday and had not told the county clerks who actually run elections. Then the Colorado Republican Party went public today, demanding that Griswold secure those voting machines. Here's Marshall Zellinger.
The Colorado Secretary of State's office is required to maintain a spreadsheet of certified voting systems for each county. That's this list. At the bottom of any spreadsheet, you can have multiple tabs. You can also hide a tab. But if you post the raw spreadsheet to a public website, apparently anyone can also unhide the tab. This happened and apparently revealed one set of passwords for voting computers in Colorado. Next confirmed this with the Secretary of State's office today, but we learned about it this morning in an email blast from the Colorado Republican Party. The passwords had been up for months without it being known, and some, but not all, were current and active.
There are 2 passwords to get into any voting component along with physical access.
Democratic Colorado Secretary of State Jenna Griswold explained how each computer component
Griswold
requires
Grimm.
2
She's named
passwords
after
to gain
you.
access. The ones on the website were just one of the passwords, and it requires in-person access by multiple people, which is tracked by 24/7 video recording and badge IDs that record who has gained access.
We have layers of security, and out of just an abundance of caution, have staff in the field changing passwords, looking at access logs.
The truth is this a concern? Yes. Is it being mitigated? Yes. Does this mean that all of the computers are connected to the internet and that votes are being flipped? No.
Matt Crane is the former Republican Arapahoe County clerk and current executive director of the County Clerks Association. He admits this is not great news, but not something that will compromise anyone's vote.
I want to stress here, this isn't all Republicans, but you will have some Republicans who will use this for political and financial purposes, whereas we as clerks, we will stay in the truth and honoring our oath of office to serve our constituents in a truthful and honest manner.
There you go. So there you go. There were passwords out for Dominion machines. They turned away voters in Quakerstown, Pennsylvania, which actually Trump won a lawsuit, I think, about that. Then one guy filmed a post office worker going in with ballots and thought it was suspicious. All right, I think that's what I have for you guys today. I'm looking. I don't see anything in the comments. I don't see any questions or anything. Thanks for tuning into the show. Thanks, people who support the show. Remember, you can go to Cash App, $LTV411, or buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil if you want to support the show. I will dig around and bring you another show tomorrow. And we're going to be another day closer to Trump being president, I guess. Seems like. All right, guys. Well, it was great hooking up with you today. We'll bring you another big show tomorrow. And buy Bitcoin. I will tell you that. Buy Bitcoin. If you need help with cryptocurrency, you can contact me at the show on Twitter or at the show phone number. You can text me 650-GAY-TAXI. But yeah, you got to get into that, especially with Trump maybe winning. All right. That's my advice. But gold and silver too. Very nice. All right, guys. Have a good night. And we'll see you tomorrow around 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. All right. For now, that's what it is.